You're listening to SDO Isabela Radio-Based Instruction.
Come on, Mape!
Yay!
Mape paawit, mape pagguhit, mape sayaw at mape lusog ka. When learning continues in Mape Edukalidad. Hey!
When learning continues in Mape Edukalidad.
Welcome, my dear grade 8 learners. Welcome to our first episode in Health 8. I hope you feel ecstatic as we continue our lessons amidst pandemic. How's your grades for the second quarter? I hope your eagerness to study is still there, for we will explore more about our new topic for today. By the way, I am Rhea Jane Valle Bernardo, your teacher on air. Before we start our topic, kindly bring out your math notebook and pen for you to take note of the following details in our health subject. Also, find a comfortable place for you to listen and learn as you listen to today's episode. Are you now ready?
Yay!
Good. This is our first episode in Mape Edukalidad. Our discussion today will focus on the stages of infection of communicable diseases. Before we proceed to our new lesson, may we first answer the diagnostic test. This is the direction. Write true if the statement gives us correct information, and false if the statement gives us false information. Number 1. The term communicable diseases are diseases that do not transfer from one person to another. Is it true or false? Number 2. Infectious diseases are also called as communicable diseases. True or false? Number 3. The most common reservoir of pathogens is the human body. True or false? Number 4. Bacteria, fungi, and virus are pathogens which cause diseases to the host. True or false? Number 5. Coughing and sneezing are direct modes of transmission that cause infection. True or false? I will give you a minute to answer these questions. Timer starts now. Time is up. Now let us see who got the correct answers. Number 1 is false. Number 2 to number 5, the answer is true. Who got perfect score? Wow, very impressive. There's a very popular saying, prevention is better than cure. As you go along, you will notice that the diseases you are experiencing or encountering can be prevented if you only know how to control it. Accordingly, if you lack self-discipline, then prevention and control of diseases will be difficult to attain. Communicable disease means an illness caused by an infectious agent or its toxins that occurs through the direct or indirect transmission of the infectious agent or its products from an infected individual or via an animal, vector, or the inanimate environment to a susceptible animal or human host. In this case, we are going to focus only in communicable diseases, which not only threatens the sick person, but also his or her family and the society in general. Thus, protecting ourselves and our families from diseases is both a personal and a social responsibility. Globally, we are facing the deadly disease right now, which is the COVID-19, which cut off many lives not only in our country, but the whole world. An infection that threatens every single life, which leaves every family heartlessly and in pain. What is this infection? How come it is deadly as COVID-19? Infection is an invasion of microorganisms into the body that are capable of producing a disease. Anything that is alien to our body will be deadly, and as soon as possible, we have to take control of it. It is because there are 6 links in the chain of infection.
What are the 6 links of infection? Correct.
These are as follows. Number 1, pathogen. It is an organism with the ability to cause disease. These are bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, parasitic worms, and rickettsies. Their potency and their ability to enter and survive in the body and the susceptibility of the host. For example, the smallpox virus is particularly virulent, infecting almost all people exposed. In contrast, the tuberculosis bacillus infects only a small number of people, usually people with weakened immune function or those who are undernourished and living in crowded conditions. Number 2, reservoir. It is a place within which microorganisms can thrive and reproduce. The most common reservoir is the human body. A reservoir is any person, animal, arthropod, plant, soil, or substance, or combination of this in which an infectious agent normally lives and multiplies. The infectious agent depends on the reservoir for survival, where it can reproduce itself in such manner that it can be transmitted to a susceptible host. Number 3, the portal of exit. It provides a way for a microorganism to leave the reservoir through nose, mouth, body feces. Transmission of respiratory infections such as COVID-19 is primarily via virus-laden fluid particles, either droplets, and aerosols that are formed in the respiratory tract of an infected person and expelled from the mouth and nose during breathing, talking, singing, coughing, and sneezing. The competing effects of inertia, gravity, and evaporation determine the fate of these droplets. Large droplets settle faster than they evaporate and contaminate surrounding surfaces. Smaller droplets evaporate faster than they settle, forming droplet nuclei that can stay airborne for hours. Number 4, mode of transmission. It is the method by which the organism moves from one host to another. Direct contact, indirect contact, airborne, foodborne, waterborne, or vector-borne. Number 5, portal of entry. It is an opening allowing the microorganism enter the host. Examples are body orifices, mucous membranes, breaks in the skin. They may enter through respiratory system, inhalation, or gastrointestinal system, or through ingestion.
And
Urinary and reproductive tracts or sexual contact. And the last link is number 6, the susceptible host. It is a person who cannot resist a microorganism invading its body. If the infection occurs, we have to deal with the stages of infection. The first one is incubation stage. It is when a person acquires the pathogen until the appearance of the first sign. It is also known as a silent stage. The second one is prodromal stage. It is when there are non-specific signs and symptoms appearing: headache, runny nose, and slight fever. The third one is illness or clinical stage. It is the time when illness reaches its highest point of development, such as are severe aches, vomiting, high fever, sore throat, and sinus congestion. And the last stage is recovery or convalescence stage. This is the time when recovery seems complete, although the disease is still communicable. Pathogen has mostly eliminated. To wrap up the lesson for today, let's answer or do this activity. Now that you have understood the stages of infection, arrange the following process in chronological order. Write letters A to E on the space provided before each number. A is first step, B second step, and so on. Write first the statement. Place a space provided before each number. Number 1. Decline stage time when the signs and symptoms are visible. I'll repeat. Number 1. Decline stage time when the signs and symptoms are visible. Number 2. Prodromal stage is when there are non-specific signs and symptoms appearing. I'll repeat. Prodromal stage is when there are non-specific signs and symptoms appearing. Number 3. Incubation stage is when a person acquires the pathogen. I'll repeat. Number 3. Incubation stage is when a person acquires the pathogen. Number 4. Illness stage is when specific severe signs and symptoms appear. I'll repeat. Number 4. Illness stage is when specific severe signs and symptoms appear. Number 5. Convalescence stage is recovery stage. I'll repeat. Number 5. Convalescence stage is recovery stage. I will give you 3 minutes as I play the Radyo Eskwela song. Ready?
Yay! Tayo ay mag-aral sa loob ng ating tahanan. Sa radyo ay magtunilang, tiyak ika'y may matututunan. Pagkat sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo pa rin ay magkaisa upang masigurong bawat bata ay pumapasa. Halina't matuto gamit ang ating radyo, pakinggan at unawain, aralin na ituturo. Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan. Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela. Pagkat kayo'y kinabukasan, ang pag-asa ng ating bayan. Isa pusong pagkatuto nang matupad ang pangarap mo. Pagkat sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo pa rin ay magkaisa upang masigurong bawat bata ay bumabasa. Halina't matuto gamit ang ating radyo, pakinggan at unawain, aralin na ituturo. Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan. Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayong ng lahat makinig. Halina't matuto gamit ang ating radyo, pakinggan at unawain, aralin na ituturo. Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan. Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na, tayo na, tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na, tayo na, tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Now class, let's check. For number 1, the answer is letter D. For number 2, the answer is letter B. For number 3, the answer is letter A. For number 4, the answer is letter C. And for the last item, number 5, the answer is letter E. Who got it all right?
Yay!
Wow, fantastic! That is the sign you are ready for your quiz. But remember, it always goes back with the saying, prevention is better than cure. And I think you are now ready for a short quiz. This is the instruction. Write the correct answer in your Health 10 notebook. Ready?
Yay!
Number 1. These are diseases which are transferred from one person to another. I'll repeat. Number 1. These are diseases which are transferred from one person to another. Number 2. It is the route of escape of the pathogen from the reservoir. I'll repeat. Number 2. It is the route of escape of the pathogen from the reservoir. Number 3. The stages of infection wherein the illness reaches its highest point of development. I'll repeat. Number 3. The stage of infection wherein the illness reaches its highest point of development. Number 4. What is the disease-causing microorganism that attack the body and infect cells? What is the disease-causing microorganisms that attack the body and infect the cells? Number 5. This is the interval between entrance of pathogen into the body to the appearance of first symptoms. I'll repeat. Number 5. This is the interval between entrance of pathogen into the body to the appearance of first symptoms. I'll give you 4 minutes to answer those questions while I play the Radyo Eskwela song.
Tayo ay mag-aral sa loob ng ating tahanan. Sa radyo ay mag-tune lang, tiyak ika'y may matututunan. Pagkat sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo pa rin ay magkaisa upang masigurong bawat bata ay pumapasa. Kinabukasan, ang pag-asa ng ating bayan, isa pusong pagkatuto ng matupad ang pangarap mo. Pagkat sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo pa rin ay magkaisa upang masigurong bawat bata ay bumabasa. Gamit ang ating radyo, pakinggan
Now, grade 8, remember, honesty is the best policy. The answers are the following. For number 1, the answer is communicable diseases or infectious diseases. Number 2 is portal of exit. Number 3, the answer is illness stage or clinical stage. Number 4 is pathogen or causative agent. And number 5 is incubation stage. Who got perfect score? Wow, impressive! Let's give yourselves a round of applause. I really appreciate your time and effort in bringing the best of your performance today in your Health 8. Please remind your parents or guardian to submit your quiz form and following the IATF protocols in bringing these forms in your respective schools. If you have questions, feel free to text or message your teacher in Health 8 for you to understand more your lessons. You just listen to our helpful tips on how to avoid infection and illness in this episode in Health. On behalf of the SDO RBI production team, I am your script writer and your radio teacher on air, Rhea Jane Valle Bernardo, reminding you all na sa panahon ng pandemya, walang batang maiiwan sa SDO Isabela. Stay home and stay safe. Goodbye and enjoy the rest of the day.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!